My name is Vernon Baker. I'm the CEO of Jaguar Mining, and I'm going to tell you a little bit today about, if this will advance, about what our next several years hold for us after about 4 years of hard work getting some things set up. So that's the disclaimer that we'll be waving my arms. But these 5 green columns here represent our opportunity to see a significant growth with our company. We've spent the last 5 years working hard with just 2 small underground mines and trying to set up a position to initiate mining in some new resources. So that first one there is at our Pilar mine, is called the BA ore body. We put some holes into this about 2.5 years ago. They got us excited. We put some more holes into it. Last year we started developing into it, and we think we have a real opportunity to change the whole perception of what the Pilar mine is. Next to that is the fine ore body. We've had that ore body for a long time, but in the beginning of 2022 we started developing access to it from our current mining areas. And this year we arrived at the edge of it. We've spent this year getting to the middle, getting the ramping started and beginning access it. We're currently developing in the ore bodies and starting to see where we go. Onces J. Pittengi is a property we purchased last year from IM Gold after several years of discussion with them. It has over 800,000 ounces in total resource, and we're finalizing the permitting and hope to start development there by the beginning of 2026. Santa Isabella is a property we had a very stiff royalty on when it shut down in 2012. But with the change in economics and our ability to eliminate that royalty, we're now ready to go back in and start some contribution to our gold production again from that mine. That last one's Cohego Brandao. That's a exploration property we initially found 5 years ago. We developed a small open pit resource on it, and we see it as very viable to allow us to operate our Cayete plant at 100% in the future. We'll step back a second. We're Brazilian gold. Our assets are all in the state of Minas Gerais in Brazil. We center out of the capital city called Belo Horizonte. And we've been in production actual production continually for about 18 years. Stepping a little bit closer, here you can see how we are in relationship to that city. Belo Horizonte is a large city. We have properties to the northwest, our Turmalina complex, properties to the east, which is the Cayete, including the Pilar mine complex, and then to the south, the Paciencia complex, which includes our Santa Isabella mine, but it's been on care and maintenance for about 12 years. And the distance between the Turmalina complex, which includes that Onces J. Pittengi project that I mentioned to you, and the Fina ore body, which is part of the Turmalina mine in reality, it's about 200 line miles from our Pilar mine. So these properties are accessible on a day basis from Belo Horizonte. So it's a great area to live, a great area to access. We have excellent professionals in the area. It's a mining center for the country, and we're very pleased with how things have gone. These are the resources that are in place for those 5 projects. And in total, there's about 1.5 million ounces up there, about 800,000 in inferred and almost 700,000 in indicated and measured. The glaring number up there is the 0 for BA. We don't currently have, in the deeper part of the BA area where we're actively mining right now, we do not have a currently announceable resource because it was very scarce drilling when we closed out our resource basis last year. This year that'll change. We'll start seeing some ounces in our resource base from BA, but it is a resource that can potentially increase our production basically through grade and accessibility. BA, what got us excited? We got into it at the beginning of this year after some development and ongoing diamond drilling. And that top row across is the tonnage that we produced from the traditional Pilar ore bodies. And then the second row down is what BA contributed. And you can see, even just in development, it produced about 1/3 again grade relative to what we produced in the rest of the mine. And we see the opportunity next year to produce over 40% of our tonnage from this new area, allowing us to increase our head grades and start to increase our production rates. 5 points here, the two key ones. The second one down, we just released within a week the lowest drill hole we've put into this property, into this zone. It's about 7.5 meters at over 9 grams. Beautiful stuff for us. It shows a continuity, vertical continuity down to the bottom of our ramp, our current ramp access, and again gives us a lot of confidence in developing it. That confidence is also expressed by that last line there. We currently have 5 headings headed towards the BA ore body. Actually, a couple of them have probably hit it within the last week, and we expect by October to have all 5 in ore. Again, this is what excited us, is these drill holes. And why I know they're going to be a little bit hard to see, I want to point out something to you. This area is where we came in and mined on the 15-2 level. We went in there after a hole that was 10 meters at 6.8 grams. In the same structure, down here, we have a hole that's 10 meters at 20 grams. We have a hole right here that is 8 meters at 7 grams. And we have a hole down here, the one I just mentioned, 7.5 meters at 9 grams. We really believe we have some good vertical continuity that BA can contribute very significantly in the near future. And on the left side of that picture, you see the development that the current mine has been operating from. You see we already have vertical access to these ore bodies. So we'll be able to expand our mining fronts significantly from the ramp we currently have and give us more flexibility in production on tonnage and bring higher grade material to our mill. The next green bar I talked about was Fina. This is actually an ore body within our Turmalina mine. You can see it's on strike and on trend with the other Turmalina ore bodies. Started off was ore body A and B. We're currently mining ore body C. And the last almost 3 years we spent driving a drift over and starting the access into Fina. We're very busy there right now. We have 2 diamond drills going. We're developing in, I believe, 3 different areas into the ore right now. We just released these holes a little bit ago. You see we have some decent widths and some pretty good grades. The most interesting, because we're going to do something with it right away, are these holes. We saw 3 good width holes basically above and below our first access into the ore zone. So we're seeing the grades we had hoped for, and we're seeing widths actually better than we expected. We do not expect to mine this 18 meters wide. They're at a bit of an angle to the ore body, but there are areas in there that we will mine up to 10 meters wide. Understanding that the current ore bodies we're mining at Turmalina roughly range less than 4 meters wide on average. So we have this tremendous opportunity for larger stopes at better grade. That third bar, Onces J. Pittingui, we picked this up, as we said, from IAMGOLD. It's a very well-drilled project. They had it for about 15 years. It's got good ounces in it, and it's going to show us the ability to fill our Turmalina mill so we can run that mill at 100% capacity as well. We think it will produce 30 to 35,000 ounces per year, and we expect to start the development in 2026. The first ounces would be produced towards the end of that year as we start developing into the ore body. This is a picture, a cross-section of that Onces J. Pittingui ore body. You can see it's fairly flat. This has areas where we get up to 3,000 ounces per vertical meter. Currently mining at Turmalina, we're running at about 400 ounces per vertical meter, and the FINA area runs at about 1,000 ounces per vertical meter. So we think we can run with a fairly low development ratio here and produce good cheap tons at a reasonable grade. I mentioned Santa Isabella. We have the full mining rights. We can start this at any point, and so we're actually putting together teams right now to start some mining in this area. The ore body's not huge. We have about 125,000 ounces in the Santa Isabella itself, but it's already accessed in certain places. We're going to start some test mining on it, but this will be contributing to the Coyote plant, which will help us start raising the utilization we have of the 2,000 tons per day of capacity we have in that plant. We think this can run at about 3.5 grams, and we're looking at probably about 180,000 tons per year to the other plant. Little open pit, best thing you can have adjacent to your underground, something that allows your mill to run consistently on ore. This Cohego Brandao we found about 5 years ago initially. 2021 we started drilling it. We put together this open pit resource. It's a low stripping ratio. It's near the mill, and at 1.5 grams per ton, we think we can make a lot of money on the 50,000 ounces we have delineated here. We've generated quite a bit of cash over the last 4 years. We've paid $30 million out in dividends. We've put approximately $40 million into exploration. We've put just in the FINA development and about $16 million. We've put a lot of money back in the ground, and we have a nice solid bank account to move forward with. If you look at us as an investment, this is what our stock profile looks like. We have 79 million shares out, fully diluted. The really only dilution is options held by management, which is about 1 million shares total. About 80 million total, fully diluted. Our market cap is up a little bit from there today. We're pushing towards 400 million Canadian as a market cap. And again, 37 million in the bank to start this quarter, and we basically don't carry any debt. That 3 million is a rotating debt that we use for export purposes with our gold from Brazil. We're tightly held right now. Eric Sprott holds about 45% of the stock. Sprott Asset Management, the old Tocqueville, holds about 9% of the stock, and then the I Am Gold, a company that we purchased basically with stock, the Onças de Pitangui property, holds about 8%. So fairly tightly held, but these guys have been incredibly supportive, especially Eric Sprott, who's been delighted with where we've been going. Our last guy talked about his team. And I'll tell you what, I don't think he has anything to brag about above our team. We have a great group running this company. Our newest member is Alfred Colas, our CFO. I've worked with him in the past. He was a very good cultural fit for us and has already been a help in us moving this company ahead. We have a great geologist in John Hill who's helping us. Eric Duarte is in charge of our new mines, so specifically right now Onças de Pitangui and our exploration. And Marina Freitas is our vice president of almost everything else, including finance, IT, enough stuff. The list is not worth going into. I'm an underground miner, so these guys really run the business, and I try and pay attention to make sure our mines are running successfully. So, any questions?
I have just one question, just if you could recap, what would your guidance for production and costs be as a consolidated number for the year?
For this year, our all-in sustaining costs will be around $1,500 per ounce. Obviously, as our production grows, which we expect to potentially double over the next 3 to 4 years, we would see that rate going down pretty significantly.